Well, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Let the Truth Be Told. My name is Sean Williams, and I am so happy to be in the studio today with Ethan over here at UPTV. And I sure appreciate all you guys that listen to us every Sunday evening. Man, we're going to have a great program. We're going to have a great conversation today. Appreciate everybody on my Facebook Live. We are over here taping at UPTV, another episode of Let the Truth Be Told. And once again, my name is Sean Williams, and we've been doing this program for quite a while. So we're going to get into some things, we're going to get into some topics, we're going to talk about a lot of issues, we're going to cover a lot of ground today, and I sure appreciate it. Even though it's cold outside, we're going to have it warm in the studio. So I appreciate you guys tuning in to us. About to go into this new year. We're going to go into this new year with some new things, some new ideas. Just want to do some house cleaning before we get started. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. I mean, I had a pretty good Christmas, had a pretty good Thanksgiving. Thank the Lord for all my family that I was able to spend some time with. My mom, Miss Rolene Brumfield, my main man, Gab, my stepdad. Hey, I sure appreciate you, Gab, and everything that you do for me. Miss Marion, Miss Davis, Miss Katie over there at County Market, Miss Claudia. Big shouts out to you, girl. I really appreciate all the help that you gave to me during the Gary Brown's funeral. Hey, big help. Miss Marie Thomas, big help. Hey, I sure appreciate everything you did for me. My main man, Butch. Big shouts out to you, Butch. Thanks for giving me a call. You keep your head up out there. Even though things are tough, man, you keep your head up. My main man, Eric Dixon, appreciate you. One of my loyal, great fans out there, Eric Dixon. My main man, Hub. All of my Williams Memorial Service staff, all my ex-barbers out there, man, sure appreciate all you guys, all you ladies out there that did hair with us. And man, I sure appreciate everybody that come up to me every single day and say, Sean, keep up the good work, man. I sure appreciate it. Couldn't do it without you guys. Hey, man, so as we get ready to flip on in here and get into this topic, man, you know, as I was thinking about the program, I'm thinking about what we're going to say, how we're going to say it, what we're going to get into, what's the dialogue going to look like, you know, kind of paint that picture on that wall. And it popped into my head, no pain, no gain. No pain, no gain. And so I kind of did some research on what pain and what gain look like, and we're going to get into some of those things because we're in 2017, and today being the 30th, I think today being the 30th, and we're about to transition and go into 2018. Now, don't tell nobody, but some people still sleep, but we're about to go into 2018. Don't be asleep. We're about to go into 2018. And so as we get ready to go into 2018 and just looking back on 2017, you know, man, we had a bunch of trials, bunch of tribulations going on in 2017. You know, a lot of things went on. A lot of things went on in 2017. You know, and as I look back on 2017, man, you know, we lost a lot of loved ones in 2017. I mean, a lot of loved ones. We had a lot of agony, a lot of pain in 2017. You know, and just preparing to go into 2018, just a lot of things, man, that just happened in 2017. You know, and so when we look at whether it's our community or we look at it at a national level, you know, or even in our personal lives, just had a lot of things that we had to go through. You know, just dealing with just life's ups and downs. Just dealing with life's ups and downs, just a array of different things to kind of just go over. And so, man, as we prepare to kind of move forward, you know, just the failures and the losses. Let's take it just right there. Let's stop right there. Let's just pause right there. The failures and the losses. You know, what did you lose in 2017? Who did you lose in 2017? Did you lose a loved one that set you back? You know, as I think about it a little bit, you know, even with the Gary Brown, you know, going through with the Gary Brown, one of my close buddies, you know, I had just went through that happy moment in 2017. His brother Tony was getting married, and Tony seen me and he said, Sean, make sure you be at my wedding, man. You know, make sure you be at my wedding. And I wanted to be over there at Sandra's and Tony's wedding, and I did. I paused for the calls because so many times we're so busy that we don't make stuff. And I'm so glad I did, because if I had missed that moment, I would have missed that moment with Gary. And Gary came back from Tacoma, Washington to be with his brother to be the best man at the wedding, right? And so as we got over to the Urbana Civic Center and we shared some moments and shared with the family, loved on everybody. And then as I got ready to get up out of there, got in the parking lot, and Gary came out there, and I almost get choked up talking about it. And Gary came out there, and something said, Sean, tell Gary to come here. And I got Gary over there, and Gary said, what's up, Slim? man, how your brother doing? And I got to tell him how his buddy was, you know, my brother down in Atlanta, Terry, and got to telling him about him. And I said, Gary, come on, man, take this selfie with me before I leave. And I took a selfie by, you know, one of his nephew's car. Took that selfie. Then about a week later, got a call from my brother, and he said, man, did you hear about Gary? I stood up on the couch like, what you mean, what about Gary? He passed away. What? Man, straight tragedy, straight tragedy. That was a tragedy. But as I look back into it, and look back after we got the service together, most we can do for the celebration of life service for him and trying to love on that family during that tough time. But as I look back on it, you know, we have to love on the moments, those special, intricate times that we have with each other. So when we look back on Thanksgiving, those intricate times, you know, telling people the tough stuff and then telling people the good stuff, Miss Davis say. You know, you got to tell them some good stuff too. And get it off your chest. If you got a problem, get it off your chest. You know, let's iron those things out so we can bring back family. Then I look back on Christmas. You know, and if your Christmas was like my Christmas, you know, I mean, just an intricate, small part of the family was together. Just an intricate, small part of the family. Because everybody got so much going on. We so busybody that special occasions like Christmas don't mean anything anymore. Special occasions like Thanksgiving don't mean anything no more. Because we so busybody. And media and, you know, things that they put out there, you know, whether it's advertisements for the stores, you know, the Friday black sale and the Saturday open early sale and all of these different sales got us so busy that nothing's closed anymore. You know, when I look back on it and I think about it when I was a kid, you know, if you got a toy that needed a battery, you had to get that early. Or you had to go to a gas station and you had to get there early because to buy the batteries for your toy. You couldn't find batteries for a toy when I was growing up as a kid. So you would look at that toy all the way and you couldn't wait until that Monday or that Tuesday came around in order to get batteries to even see the toy operate. But you don't have to do that anymore because they took away the fun and took away that family time and that family relationship, and everything shut down and pausing for the cause of what the spirit should even be about. So as we look back on what's the reason for the season? Jesus is the reason for the season. Was it about the gifts? You know, so many of the kids got so many gifts, but did they find out what the reason for the season is? Because we're going to pour that in your spirit today too, because you got to be grounded with something. For your 2017 and your tragedies that you're trying to overcome, the things that you're trying to overcome, you got to be able to be grounded to something, loaded on something, standing on something. You know, I did a service one time and a minister was preaching it, and I'm sitting in the church and I'm listening to the minister. And he said, man, and he literally put the Bible down on the ground and stood on it. He said, I'm standing on the word. That was Bishop Gibney. He said, I'm standing on the word. You got to be standing on something that's going to ground you, something that's going to guide you, despite of what the world's talking about, despite about the commercials telling you, man, you need to go here, you need to go do this, you need to buy this, you need to do that. You know, we spending money we ain't even got and getting ready to go into 2018. And then when you pull your pockets out, it ain't nothing but lint. Man. Don't let these people push you around and tell you what you need to do and what you need to buy. You see how Apple did it. You see how Apple played it. They had you buying a $500 phone knowing you was going to have to buy another battery or think your phone was broke, knowing that it was already a chemical defect before it even got put out. That's the way they playing us. The devil in the details. So, you know, don't follow what the crowd doing. Don't make them push you around and make you spend all your money and things that don't even mean anything, that don't matter, that don't even matter, things that don't matter, you know. And when I look back onto it and I look back onto the things I did to Montreal Johnson's funeral, you know, for the young man that was killed in Country Brook, you know, we need to get a hold on, put the guns down, as my brother Dante would say, put the guns down. You know, conflict resolution. I went to a few meetings with the Community Coalition and we talked about it and discussed it, you know, and as I I loved on, you know, because after I'm done with the service, I'm not done with the service because I still love on the people. So in that business that I'm into, in the funeral home business, you know, it's an aftercare part that I play a role in. And that's loving on my families afterwards, trying to heal and help with the, you know, nuclear fallout of a loss of a loved one. So as I loved on the mom, Miss Johnson, you know, and I just sat down and listened to her one morning afterwards, after the services, after everybody then left, after all the phone calls, the flowers, and all these things then gone away. And she's sitting into a space by herself one morning. Just to go over there and, hey, Miss Johnson, how things going this morning? You know, and as I talk about it today, you know, knowing this young man and knowing his brother, you know, knowing some of the extended family members, you know, and that plays a major role in this, you know, knowing some of these people. Man, I'm heartbroken even talking about this young man, full of life, that's responsible for other young people that he created, to get his life snuffed out, man. But to deal with his mom, just on the forward moving, the healing process, you know, and death to have you stuck, man. Death to have you stuck. When you get a close loved one, you know, snuffed out quickly, it's already hard to lose a loved one. You know, like I was just reading on Facebook, lady, you know, she taking care of her dad, and dad passed away, but dad had been sick, and dad was 91, and, you know, they loved him for many, 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 many years, and they kind of prepped themselves for the loss. But when I just seen you last night, or I just seen you a few minutes ago, we ain't prepped up, we ain't said no last conversation, we ain't got a chance to say, man, my fault. We ain't talked about, you know, what you want me to do for the future, you know, on your behalf. I never get you that hug. I never wrote you that last note. You know, that's a tough thing. And so as I dealt with her, and I said, Mom, you know, we got some resources because we resource rich around here. And as I told the Community Coalition, we got resources. We need to connect them. Stop hovering your resources so you can get more grants and grants and grants. And I know how the program worked. I'd have been to enough meetings. I'd have sat in there and just listened. You know, Pastor Johnson taught me some over there at Jericho Missionary Baptist Church. Listening to the service, you know. He said, you can tell what people own if you just sit back and listen to them. Because what you own, you know, once you open up your mouth, it kind of tells what's in your heart. So if your program is just based on a little funding, I could tell because that's what's coming up out of there every time you show up. But when it's about community, it's about helping people. You know, and I've always told people from the beginning, you know, the funeral home business ain't for young folk. I tell my young folk, man, it ain't for you. You're supposed to go off to college, man. You're supposed to go to the military. You're supposed to go raise a family. Go get a nice corporate job somewhere. Go get a job. Be a great example for somebody. Not to end up with your life snuffed out early. And I think that's the hardest part that Ms. Johnson was having to deal with, you know. But, you know, being able to connect with her, man, I love on her. Love on her. And, you know, being able to connect resources to that family, you know, be able to help that family. So big shouts out to you, Miss Johnson. I love you. I love you. And you continue to keep your head up and keep on moving. Keep on moving. You know, and, you know, that similar situation some years ago with my buddy Rashidi, you know, passing away. December the 22nd was the anniversary of his passing, you know. And a lot of close friends, you know, and family, you know, we still stuck there, you know, just like the loss of my buddy Mia, we stuck there, you know. And, you know, it's the tough thing to lose somebody, man. You just got to keep on pushing every day. What I always do for me and my buddy Rashid, my buddy Miel, is I reflect back on them good moments. And then I do things in their honor. Everything I'm not, what will my buddy say I should do right now? Then I go do that. That's what's up. Because I know he saluted me like I'm saluting him. Because I'm steady moving in the honor of, to make somebody proud. Look down on heaven. Look down on me. Man, I sure appreciate that. Met with my buddy Miel kids over the Thanksgiving season. Man, you know, told them, dad to be proud, man. Be proud. Young man, trying to find his way, connected to being an electrician. Sometimes you got to get up out of here, man. Get away from these people, places, and things, the people that's around you. Get from around these folks. Folks ain't trying to do nothing. Psh, see ya. See ya. We going into 2018. It's some folks you got to say, man, see ya. That's the past. Let's go for the future, baby. So that's how we gonna move this forward, trying to change the things up. And then I'm gonna talk about the pain. The pain. It was a song that was out back in the day. I'm from the 70s, the 80s, I'm 80s, right there, and it was a song back in the 80s called When We Gonna Get to the Good Part. Get on down to the good part. We all want good part. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a secret. Shh, don't tell nobody. I'm gonna tell you a secret. We always say we want God to show up. But I'm gonna tell you when God show up. God show up in your pain. Because a lot of us, I talked about being so busy. We moving so fast. We don't got an ear for God. And God shows up in your pain, in your turmoil, in your frustration, in your bitterness. Right when you're going through your mess. And see, that's why a lot of our programs can't figure out what to do, because they really don't like to mess with mess. But I'm going to tell you, if you really want to be a help, you got to get down and get a little dirty. So programs, people that's running the program, get dirty. Put your boots on. Go out here and really get dirty. But if you really want God to show up, man, you got to be willing to go through the pain. You got to be willing to go through the pain. It used to be a gym called Omni Fitness when I was growing up. Me and my buddies used to ride our bikes over there. We used to watch W.S. Davis, Big Terry, and them, and all them guys lift weights. And, we looking at them hitting 4 or 5 plates, We watching them guys, they muscle up, but it takes a lot of pain to get there, to be able to hit 500, 600 pounds, as we were lifting weights. That's an individual sport. Can't nobody go in there and do it for you. A lot of us got New Year's resolutions to lose a little weight, to do a little something. Can't nobody do that for you but you. And it takes you're gonna have to go through some pain. Some pain on the treadmill, some pain on the moving away from the table, some pain of having a diet, some pain of just being able to mentally prepare yourself to get up and go to the gym in the morning. Some pain of getting around some people that you unfamiliar with, a program that you unfamiliar with, an environment you unfamiliar with. The pain of that, because we like things that we're comfortable with. But I'm gonna tell you, if you want God to really move in your life, be willing to go through the pain. I know we don't like the pain. I know we don't like the loss of a loved one. I know we don't like our family environment, the way we showed up, the hands we were dealt, the branches off the tree we were built in, because a tree known by its fruit. I know we don't like the maker of the tree, and we showed up in poverty. I know we don't like that. Nobody likes that. But it's what you're going to do with it. It's what you're going to do with it. Don't let it isolate you. Put you on the island all by yourself. I've fallen, and I'm about to get up. That's what it's all about. It's falling, and I've got to get up. Sometimes God take us through the pain, man, so that we can listen. Old folks used to have a saying, he's a bridge over troubled water. He's a bridge over troubled water. He's my comfort and my shelter in a time of need. But you'll never know that if you don't never need for nothing. You'll never know that if you ain't never been homeless. You'll never know about that bridge if you ain't never been troubled. See, and that's why I get down on my educators so much sometimes. Because sometimes people can't relate. They can't relate. They can't relate. Sometimes you'll sit around some people and you get to talking, you're having a conversation. That's why I don't like messing with too many people, because they can't relate to the conversation, you know. But, you know, when we get down to the conversation, don't nobody know nothing about a sugar sandwich or just having a syrup sandwich, you know, just a little something to put on your stomach. You know, college students, oodles and noodles, you know, just a little something to put on your stomach. Just that bridge to help you get over until you get to your wealthy place. See, because that builds up hope. And it's an experience. It's a hope and it's an experience. Because what God does is he wants you to go to the experience. That way he can utilize you as a testimony, a living example, so that you can tell others. A testimony. To be able to say, man, Sean did it. My nephew Jamar did it. Miss Johnson made it. Miss Mary, she made it. She making it. There's so many people making it. But you gotta get out of victim mode. You gotta be able to get out of victim mode. Some people always crying victim mode. Man, this happened to me. And man, this happened to me. And this happened to me. I just was in Decatur yesterday, you know, another one of my hats, you know, because I keep so many different things going because, you know, it's hard for the devil to hit a moving target. So when people think you're over here, you're over there. And so I was in Decatur and I was with a lady, and the devil don't care what color you are. You know, the devil don't care what race you are. He don't care what part of the continent you own. The devil he moving, seeking who he can devour. So he don't care what your color like. So we only care about race. We only, you know, the whites fighting the blacks and the Latinos and Arabs and, you know, and people from that place. And man, that's all us. That ain't what the devil look at. He here to seek and destroy everybody. So when I'm talking to this lady yesterday, and I'm telling her how important it is to have some type of life insurance. And she old and she isolated by herself, and she talked about how she got fired from her job years ago, and I mean, she can't even get hired at Walmart because she messed up one time with the state, and she can't get back in. And she said Walmart won't hire her. McDonald's won't hire her. She's on a Social Security disability. She's on a fixed income, and she's got all this stuff in her house, and I felt so sorry for her because I love on people. I don't care what color you are. I love people. Man, I done been there. I done seen it. And so when I'm listening to her story, I felt so, and so I'm getting her down, and I'm like, she was like, I really don't care about, you know, traditional services and spending a whole lot of money and having to, you know, plot at the cemetery. And Sean, I just want to have a little something for my brother. He's in Urbana, and so I just want him not to be able to have the burden of the cost of cremation services. And I tried to talk to her and convince her that, man, just get $2,000. You don't get $3,000, just get $2,000. And you know, and the way I am, and what I had already placed in my mind, but I wanted her to make the first step. I wanted her to make the first step of putting something on her own bill. But she couldn't get it. And I'm like, man, if you could just pay this $17. I had already prepared in my mind that if she held on to that and started that, then my compassion just for being an elderly person, then a time of need, I was gonna put some away later, and when I go to Decatur, and just stop by and bless her with something. Just bless her with something. But she wouldn't make the first step. The fear of making the first step. The fear You already struggling. You already going through. I'm going to tell you one thing. You might as well go for the gusto because you will not leave this life alive. You going to die. I'm going to die. Loved ones, family members going to die. All your buddies going to die. So why not go for the gusto? Why not go for, that secret recipe, that invention that you created, that stuff you've been sitting on that you've been wanting to do. It's 2018, baby. It's time to go for it. So many people live their lives in regret because they never turned the corner. And they let fear govern them. And I'm going to tell you another thing that we let govern us. Listening to some jerk on the side that ain't never tried nothing themselves. People don't see you doing anything because they don't see themselves doing anything. That's called haters. Because your closest haters, and your haters going to be the closest people right by you. Man, I don't know why you trying that. Man, you ain't smart enough. You don't got an education. You don't look good. What? We seeing people conquer all kinds of things. We seeing people make it all kinds of different ways. I was just listening to one of my great motivational speakers, Les Brown. And I think he was talking about in the 1 mile, running a 1 mile race. Nobody had ever did that in 4 minutes. In 4 minutes. This was years ago. Nobody had ever did that. But then one guy came along and he broke that record. Beating running a mile within 4 minutes. Since then, 20,000 people then broke that record. 1 mile within 4 minutes. And that's because they've seen somebody else, a living example. If they can do it, why can't I? They can do it. Why can't I? It's so many things out there for us to challenge ourselves. But a lot of times we want to sit back and we blame people. Oh man, it's my environment. It's the environment that I'm living in. You know, I ain't gonna be able to come out the environment. It's the people that I'm connected with. Well, like one of my buddies said, there ain't nothing between us but space. So what you supposed to do? Connect yourself with somebody else. Go connect yourself with somebody else. A little bit that you can count on that's a little bit, maybe a little bit smarter. They got that little education that you might need. Connect with somebody else. Change your environment up. Go somewhere you've never been before. Take that vacation. Go put your eyes on something. A big one for me was going to Washington, D.C. That was a big one for me. A big one for me was going to see the Smithsonian Institute. I think everybody should go. You know, we look at politicians, but being able to go see politicians and see the political process and see what that even looked like, it was a big one for me. Because we'll go to a city council or something like that or some type of governing body and we'll think that's just it because we're in this small environment. But to be able to get out this environment and go see something else at a bigger arena, ride over to Springfield, see what the Capitol looks like. Go up to Chicago. I really, 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 really like lakes, oceans, peaceful things, nature. First of all, it's free. Don't cost you nothing. Just get out and get a breath of fresh air, man. I told some of my guys that's been locked up, I told them this here. I told some of my guys that have been locked up, man, it's nothing like freedom. Because even if you can just go to the park, sit down and listen to the birds chirp, hear the ripples in the water. just to be able to hear that, be able to listen. But too many of us are always bumping our gums. We think we know it all. And once you think you know it all, you can never learn because you know it all. Who wants to share something with people that know everything? I got a buddy, right? I got a buddy from back in the day, and I'm gonna give you this here example, right? He used to spend a lot of money doing a lot of different things, right? Spent a lot of money. He was around a lot of prominent people in that rap game, that rap industry, that promotion industry, that type of thing, right? And I tried to tell him, man, you know what I'm saying? Maybe one of the reasons why you didn't get the deal or you didn't get connected is because you already showed up looking like $1 million, you know? So when you showed up looking, they already thought you had it. You popping Cristal and they popping Cristal. Instead of you saying, I'm a small town country boy coming for a deal. Keep it 100. Stop all that faking until you make it. Keep it 100. Because you can't fool yourself. If you going somewhere and you trying to get a deal, if you going somewhere, you trying to get a job, you going somewhere, you know, I mean, look the part. Don't get me wrong. Look the part. Look what you're trying to get into. Because I don't believe in none of this stuff that we got going on. You talking about success, your head nappy, you're sagging your pants, I mean, your shoes ran over, all of that type of stuff. You know, I don't believe in none of that. But at the same time, man, tell somebody what you need. Closed mouth don't get fed, baby. You got to tell people. My mama used to say, I ain't no mind reader. I ain't no mind reader. People ain't no mind reader. It takes you to be connected with people. That's why I said, you know, when you get ready to change going in 2018, it's people, places, and things you might need to change, but you also need people, places, and things. You just got to change your partners. Switch them up, change them up, flip the script. Man, dig, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of getting drunk with y'all every night. Tired of smoking with y'all every night. I'm tired of listening about the game every night. I don't even know NBA players, NFL players. Man, I could care less. There's too many important things out there, man. Life too short. The most precious commodity that you have is time. And when you start to get in your 40s, and you look like, and you like me, you knocking at the door, your 50s. 60 will be here before you know it. 70 will be here. And if you ain't accomplished the things that you're trying to accomplish, it's called regret. It's called frustration. Then you want to push yourself to the church house. God want to be able to use you while you got some youthfulness. You can move your legs. You can open your mouth. Now, granted, He's going to accept all of us. No respect to person. So, you know, grab us all of us as His children. So when you're ready to turn the corner, you know, give yourself up, I mean, that's what it is. But why not make the turn today? Say, man, man, it's a wide world out there, and it's a lot of stuff out there that I can grab a hold to. That I can be that example. I can be Paul with some respect. Not just the guy over in the corner. Oh, that's the guy over in the corner. Because, you know, I mean, dads are important, man. Your moms are important. But I'm telling you, with these young people and the situations that we're going through, the missing link is dad. Missing link is Paw. It's them guys. We missing them in every household. In almost every household. Every statistic across the board to say that. But we're waiting on government to change something, change the program. The program designed for him not to be there. Because they want you to be like zombies. Another one of my mentors and people that I listen to off my motivational stuff call it sheep. We got a whole lot of sheep. ain't got a lot of sheep herders. Start building some leadership up, man. Start building up leaders in these families. We bringing our families, we getting back what the devil done stole from us. You know, all these different gadgets we got, it's in order to isolate us. You don't even got to talk to nobody now. You can talk to Siri. Siri, what's going on today, Siri? You don't even have to talk to a real person anymore. Ain't that something? See where the devil getting us? We could talk to a gadget. We don't even have to learn, we don't have to remember a phone number. We talk to the phone. Call Tom. Phone dials Tom. We don't even remember a phone number. See where the devil getting us? A place of isolation. And once we get you isolated, we get you by yourself. Then you get you into a place where you start feeling down, you become a victim. You start acting out on what you've been through. You start looking like what you've been through. And what's in you come out you. So when somebody say, good morning, what's so good about the morning? Somebody say, ain't God good? He ain't been good to me. You see, all the stuff that you went through, 2017, you're bitter, you're mad, you're frustrated. That's why I always like to stay grounded. That's why I like to stay grounded, because it always talks about look toward the hills for which cometh your help. You got to be able to see past the tree. You got to be able to see the forest. You got to be able to see the horizon. You got to be able to see your way out of it. That's what's up, man. You got to be able to see your way up out of it. See down the road. Man, you know, as I'm going through this, I'm thinking about so many different other things, you know, with you know, the way we look at things, the way we sit back and we live, you know, and a lot of us, we live through other people. So when I'm talking to some of my young people or even some of my old people, you know, just the shows that we watch on television, we'll watch the success out of others. My buddy Stacy called it vicariously living. We live through the success of others. And that's okay. That's okay when you're a great grandma or a great granddad and you build up that tree for your young folks and you planted some seeds there and you're able to live through the success of your grandchildren or of your son or your daughter. But when you young and you done gave up, you 16, full of energy, 16, and you done already said, this me. I ain't changing for nobody. You 20 years old, you 25 years old. When you look back on your life and you're 48, you're 58, and you're 68, a lot of us wish back then, that we can push the button and do a do-over. Man, if you would go in this New Year's, I take it for New Year's, and you get around family around that New Year's meal or whatever the case might be, and you ask grandma, you ask auntie, you ask Uncle John or somebody, you ask them, you know, what would you do over again, Uncle John? You know, and what they'll probably say, man, if I could do it all over again, if I could do a restart, if I could do it all over again, I would change a few things. Probably go see a few more things. Be a little bit more patient. Maybe be a little bit more humble. Don't be so arrogant. You know, treat people a little bit more kinder. You know, value things. Change my value system. I'm putting it on clothes, and I'm putting it on everybody else, and I'm putting it on cars, and I'm putting my values on all these different possessions that you can't take with you. See, the only thing that matters in between is that dash. So when I'm doing paperwork, right, when I'm in the funeral home business and I'm doing paperwork, this is the way I'll be doing, okay? And I go down there and I'm maybe getting an urn together for somebody, and I write it down for my people over there at Trophy Time. Big shouts out to my people over at Trophy Time, you know, and I'm doing my thing, and I sit down with those guys, and Sean, they'll say, Sean, what's the name? And I'll say, oh, the name is so-and-so, so-and-so, middle initial is so-and-so, and then I say, AKA, affectionately known by a whole lot of people as so-and-so, so-and-so, and then we'll put the last name. Then they'll say, well, what was his date of birth? And I put D-O-B, and then I put the date of birth. And they'll say, what is his date of death? And see, in between it, I put dash, and I put date of death. But the most important thing on that whole piece of paper is the dash. It's the things that happen between the date of birth and the date of death. Who that person was. What was the chemical makeup? What did he leave with people? It ain't that hat. It ain't that car. Somebody gonna ride the wheels off that. So I remember back in the day, you know, people had Sunday cars. You know, that's my Sunday car. And then after they pass away, I see the kids then got the car, they sold it off to the highest bidder, and somebody come through there and they rolling the wheels off of it. But somebody else was over there only on Sundays, baby. And they rubbing it real good. Only on Sundays. This one ain't hitting the streets till Sunday. Next thing you know, that person got it, they riding it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, in the morning, late night. Didn't mean anything. The only thing what you do for Christ, eternally gonna work. And secondly, what you did for people, man. When you go around here and you look at some of these buildings and stuff, you know, and you might see somebody at the University of Illinois, and you might go over to a building and it'll say the Beckman Center. And we might not even know who the Beckmans even were, you know. And the Beckman Center is right there on the University of Illinois. It used to be right there where the softball diamond at, where Kenny's gym used to be at, old man's gym. We call it the old man's gym. If you from Champaign, I'm from Champaign. So many of us come to this town, and we run through this town and run over this community, and we stand by and let folks do it. That's a whole nother program. But they don't even know the background and history of the town. But right there on the corner of University, and I think that is University and Goodwin. All right. What's that, University and Wright? I think it might be University and Goodwin. It's right there on that corner, right across from the gas station. And that's the Beckman Institute. But people will go off and be successful from the University of Illinois, go off and make their millions and billions, and they understand later on in life that the money that they accumulated and the things that they accumulated means nothing. So what they'll do is they invest it back within the university so that their name can be put on the building, so that people can come over there and they can read the bio on who Mr. Beckman and Mrs. Beckman were, and they could talk about the Beckmans. And so as you in your life, what have you contributed to society? Some of us will go off and nobody ever think about you anymore. We'll pass this way. We'll go through this life, going through the agony, the pain, the frustrations, the bitterness. You might as well get something out of it. So 2018, man, it's my breakout season. It's my breakout season. I'm gonna get something out of this pain. This frustrating life, this bad hand I was dealt with, this impoverished life I was dealt with. All them people that talked about me, that said I would never be anything. The times I thought I told myself I wasn't gonna be nothing. Because you hear something so many times, it's like a McDonald's commercial. You ain't gonna be nothing. It's almost like the 5 heartbeat. You ain't gonna be nothing because I ain't nothing. You know, and so many people, you know, will plant that seed within your head. You start telling yourself, I can't do it. I can't go off. My buddy Les Brown said the hardest thing for him to do was to think he can make $1 million. The easiest thing to do was to make the million. But the hardest thing to do was to plant the seed within his own mind. A lot of times we don't think we got no net worth, no self-worth. You know, and a lot of times we go into these spiritual arenas, and people beat us down because we don't know when to clap our hands and when to raise our hand, or we ain't got that nice dance, and make somebody else feel inferior in church. Be inferior. In an environment, we're supposed to be motivating people, showing people the way, teaching them the path. We're supposed to be like Moses, opening up the Red Sea for folk. We closing the door on folk. First person at the church, new person come in, you shutting them down. Soon as they come in the door, you see growth potential, and you don't like growth. It got to stay the way it used to be. We've been doing this over here at this church for 42 years. Times is changing, baby. I talked about the technology. You got to use the technology and not let the technology use you. Not get caught up in the moment. Things are for you to use, not to be used. You letting stuff pimp you instead of you pimping it. My guys back in the day didn't know about that conversation. Man, it's time to take back the wheel. Stop being crash dummies for everything. You know, I sit back and I'm standing on that. Straight from Champaign. Been in Champaign since I was 5 years old, man. Since I was 5 years old. Been right here in this environment. My mom brought us here, man, and we've been locked in this community. You know, went off and seen a bunch of stuff, came back to this community, been grounded in this community, and I even get frustrated sometimes. I'm telling you, I even get frustrated. Because we're so disconnected, and when we were a community that was connected, man. We had a passion for each other. But I'm gonna tell you why the young folks disconnected and upset and frustrated. Because the old folks are upset and frustrated. A tree is known by its fruit, man. You've been teaching these folks, coming right out of church service, man, and getting down on these folks, making these people bitter, frustrated, and then they having kids and it's bitter, and it's a ripple down effect. And it's the so-called do-gooders. These so-called people that's not pouring back into our community, African-American community, no small businesses. When I can just go 45 miles away. We don't even want nobody in our house. I go right to 45 miles away and run into a Caucasian male in a Trump environment. And he'll say, "Hey, buddy, come on in this house. It's cold outside." And sit down and love on me like I'm a grandkid. A Caucasian male American in 2017, 2018, under the Trump administration, where that got us racially divided, but not 45 miles away to the west of us, because these people then grew up in an environment around African-American men for a long time, and when they run across somebody that's genuine, man, they got love in their heart. Because that's the only thing that's the only thing where we all can connect with is love, man. Love in our heart for the next person. Compassion in our heart for the next person. Empathy in our heart for the next person. And when we see somebody else struggling, we give them a hand up, not a hand out. And don't be doing stuff so you can say, "Man, I did for them people." You know, so you can have a feel good all day. Hit them and keep it moving. Hit them and keep it moving. You know, I go out there by Prospect, I done hit the dude that's on the crutches with the one. I done seen people, man, I know probably got plenty, and they worried about what he gonna do. And I had to tell some of my buddies, I had to tell some people that I'm connected with, "Hey, man, it ain't my business what he do. If he go buy a Michelob Light, that's his business. He might need that Michelob Light until he get it right. That ain't my problem. That's between him and God. And his turnaround is between him and God. His ultimate moment of when he gonna get to see the light It's between him and God, man. But we always trying to do God business instead of hit the man. Just, man, he got the sign, man, hit the man. And man, here go $1, man. Go ahead. Get you a Michelob Light, man. Go on, chill out. Relax. Because it's only to that, I mean, it was just a man Christmas morning, right? Just a man, right? And I forget the town in some part of the country, right? He killed his wife and he killed the kids. You don't know what people own until they breaking point. You don't know where they at in life. So all this road rage and how you used to ride down and somebody about to, get too close to you and you yell out the window. This ain't the day and age for that. People mad, man. People frustrated, people bitter. And then before I get off this program, I want to shed some light because when I was over with this family over in Decatur, they said, Sean, do you know anything about this new tax reform and things of that nature? Well, what I've been listening to and what I've been seeing from Don Lemons and a lot of other analysts on some of these news programs, and what I've been checking out is that, man, stop waiting for the government to do something for you, man. Because even with this new tax program, come on, they gonna take from Paul, from Peter they gonna take from Peter to rob Paul. That's how that go, don't it? Yeah, they gonna take from Peter to get to Paul. That's how that go. So they're gonna take from this program, which is gonna be from Medicaid, the folks that need it, supplemental programs, people making under 50. And they're going to push that money over here, hoping it'll be a trickle back down, and that these people over here going to do the right things, that's billionaires, to help the people back down the train, instead of giving the money right to the people that need it and let them build from the ground up. They don't see it like that. They say, okay, well, look, what we're going to do is, okay, cut some of them programs out, and we're going to give this money to corporations. That's the breakdown of the whole program. And then we'll have the trickle-down effect that's going to build up more jobs because these people right here going to invest more into their corporations, build more jobs, more infrastructure, stuff like that, and then it's going to come back and we'll have more construction workers and more laborers and stuff like that. That's the basis of the program. So that's going into 2018, okay? So when somebody asks you about the program, that's the basis of it. We're going to take from this program right here. So all these people that's on these programs, and it ain't just a bunch of people that like us. It's everybody. Because the devil don't care who he touch. Remember, I told you that. He just wants you to be down there, frustrated so he can get you into an isolation spot. So he don't care about color. You get into that program where you're waiting on somebody to supplement and do something for you. Come on, man. Get back the wheel. So as we get ready to go into 2018, man, take the wheel back, and believe in this right here, man. It ain't no gain without some pain. So you're going to go through something. My grandmama used to say, just keep living. All right, Sean, just keep living. She used to tell a lot of my uncles that too. Just keep on living. And I didn't know what Granny was saying, man. I'm 6, 7, 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old. I'm listening to my granny. I'm listening to her, She died at 102, was able to share a wealth of knowledge. And I like my old folks because they got some old sayings, man. I mean, that's still relevant to this day. Just keep on living. Hard head maker. You make that pallet, you need to lie in it. And so all of those things they used to teach us, right? They used to teach us. So we got to get something up out of it. We got to get something out of it, man. And so what I'm going to get out of my pain, I'm going to get that lesson that I'm trying to learn that's being tried to talk to me. I'm going to share that lesson with somebody else so that God can get his glory up out of it, called testimony. I'm going to share that moment. I'm going to keep on out here fighting for this community. I'm going to keep on trying to tell this community how important it is for African-American businesses to stick together right here in this community, man, and get the people that's going to get back to you that got your best interest in heart, to care about things like you care about it, care about your youth, that's involved into your youth and the success of your young people, because young folks are our future, So, hey, man, all I can tell you is, man, Dig down deep. 2018, dig down deep. Don't get boggled down with what 2017, that was the past. This is the future. Look toward the hills, which cometh your help. Your help comes from up above, but it comes right back here from you, man. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? Cut the naysayers out, man, I holler. Deuces, I holler. 2018, I can't be connected. I got something different going on in my life. And God didn't put me here to be going through this here same thing year after year. My life, if you look back and you doing the same thing you was doing in 2000, you really wasting your time. If you still doing the same thing, you look back on your life and you still doing the same thing you was doing back in 1996 when Tupac got killed, you really wasting your time. And I guarantee you there's a whole lot of people counting on you. I guarantee. So as I get ready to close this program out, man, I sure appreciate everybody that tuned in to us every Sunday night. We're about to go into this new year, 2018, man. Turn the corner. Let's make our community better. Let's make our own personal lives better, man. Each one teach one something, you know. Keep an ear to hear, man. Listen to what they're saying, man, so that we can get better. Listen to what the God is trying to tell you so you can get better, man, because that's what it takes. Each one of us to really heal our own little environments around us, and that's how we make community better. That's how we make community better. We love on each other. We love on each other. Even when we mess up, we still love on each other, you know, and we build people back up. So I appreciate you. Everybody on my Facebook that tuned into us, man, I appreciate you. I really appreciate you, the comments that you made. Man, I really love this program. Love you guys over here at UPTV. You tell all Jason and all the guys, man, I really appreciate it. Ethan, I appreciate you going to that holiday season, man, keeping your head up and keep things going. I really appreciate everybody that come up to me through the streets and say, Sean, keep it up, man. Thank you for another episode of Let the Truth Be Told. Peace. 2018, baby.